Casey, g'day. A couple of restrictions eased in Victoria this morning and 4 new cases. How are things looking on this roadmap that the Victorian government has set up?
Yeah, morning, Joe. It is a pretty significant step. Not quite everything maybe that Melburnians had hoped for, but I think it is a significant step nonetheless taken in Victoria. And a week ago, I wouldn't have been so sure that step could be taken, but we've just seen a collapsing in cases in the last few days, and that has set this 14-day average back on course, 7.7 today, with today's 4 new cases included. So today is the day that the 19th of October, the government had hoped this would be below 5, and so we're 2.7 above that. That was, of course, the abbreviated timeline. The initial plan was October the 26th. It is possible, I think, that we'll get there by the 26th on the initial time frame. And these clusters, this handful of clusters that we've had popping up in Victoria might have just been a roadblock on the way. But the big caution is this is not, we're not out of the danger period of all of those clusters just yet, particularly the Shepparton one, but also several of the others. So we'll just continue to watch those numbers as we're seeing today. What happened 5 to 10 days ago, remember, there is still the possibility that we'll see some more cases pop up in tricky situations, but the more these numbers stay low, you know, we've been seeing 1s and 2s for a few days, 4 today, well, they're all pulling that average down toward a number below 5, and yeah, we may well get there before the end of the week. We'll just have to wait and see on that. The other thing worth noting today is 1 more death, unfortunately. Australia's 905th in this pandemic, but they have thankfully become very far and few between. This is the first one in, I think, 5 days that's been recorded. So 1 more a family grieving a loved one who's had to lose their family member in one of the worst possible ways, in quarantine, in isolation. At least these numbers are quite low at the moment, and the numbers of people in hospital, they're also coming quite down quite a lot, down to 12 now, and I don't believe any of these are in intensive care. So hopefully we are really well past the worst we're definitely well past the worst of seeing the most serious outcomes. I'm hoping we won't see too many more deaths at all.
And Casey, just interested to hear the latest from the US. I was surprised to hear in a story last night that there are still 700 people a day dying in the US. Has that started rising again, or is it basically been at that level for quite some time?
Yeah, it has, in terms of the overall case numbers, it has been rising for the last little while. The number of deaths is, constantly, just pick out a few days here. They're all, in the 700s, 800s, 900s. Brought down a little bit the average by those weekend days that are lower, but we're still seeing significant numbers of deaths every day, almost 220,000 of them now in total. And if I just show you the case curve, you can see the problem that the US is having. A first spike, a second spike, and now we're seeing a third one, and we saw one day here of 69,000 in just one day. Let me just show you the 7-day average across not just the United States, but several other countries. This is the US, 55,500 cases a day on average. At the moment, you can really clearly see that there is, as the US is trying to stage a major election at the moment, it is also dealing with uncontrolled spread seemingly across parts of the country. And this is the country recording the most cases every day at the moment, India. It's seeing some improvement, some dramatic improvement in its daily caseload, recording 63,000. If this trend keeps up, well, before too long, the US will again have the title of recording more cases each day than any other country in the world.
Okay, we'll leave there. Casey Briggs.